Conservative new media viewers and Jeremy Lin fans around the world, what is going on? We are here to analyze and recap Houston's 99-93 victory tonight over the Washington Wizards. Now, with the victory, Houston improves to 10-11 on the season, and they snap a two-game losing streak. Now, Houston took Washington lightly going in this game, and I kind of understand it because Washington is the worst team in the league record-wise. They came into this game with a 3-15 record and without point guard John Wall. Houston kind of messed around in this game, I thought. They just let Washington hang around more than they should have, but they did end up winning the game, and they had to win this game, and they did. James Harden, Beard, had a great game. We saw some Beard sanity. He had 31 points in his return to action after turning his ankle. Jeremy played a decent game, and we'll talk some more about that. He had 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists in 30 minutes. He shot well, 4 of 8 from the field, 50%. He missed his only three-point attempt, was 2 of 4 from the free throw line, had 3 turnovers, and had an okay efficiency number of 13. It's not incredible, but it's not bad. Now, he was also playing with a sore ankle, just as James Harden was. As we told you guys yesterday, he turned his ankle in practice, so he's having to deal with that. Okay, just some thoughts on what he did tonight. One, I noticed that his teammates were more willing and eager to give Jeremy the ball. And that's because of Linsanity 2.0 in the game against the Spurs at the last outing. So I think the team is having more confidence in him now, which is good. I've talked about this earlier in the season where Jeremy will have what I call a turnover bundle, which is he'll have several turnovers in a relatively short period of time. This is usually the way that he has his turnovers. He's really cut down on his turnovers this season, which is an excellent improvement from him. But when he'll go on little streaks where he'll turn the ball over. He was doing that more earlier in the season. He's doing it less now, but he had one of those streaks tonight in the second quarter. 2 of them were just silly turnovers. Just he rushed the pass or he hurried a pass he didn't need to. The third turnover was a missed alley-oop. I mean, that happens. That's just going to happen sometimes. But 2 of them were definitely preventable. I think it's just he wasn't fully concentrating because, again, they're playing a team that's not very good. If they were playing a better team, I think that wouldn't have happened. But it's still something he needs to work to correct. He just needs to have a higher concentration level against even bad teams. That was probably the worst thing he did tonight, was that little turnover bundle. He actually played a pretty good game except for those turnovers. And even with the turnovers, he still had a 2-to-1 assisted turnover ratio. That's good. It's not great. You want more of a 3.5 to 1. But considering that he had those turnovers in the second quarter, and I think he only had like 1 or 2 assists at the time. It ended up being a pretty good game for him in terms of that turnover to assist ratio. Now, he was a lot better in the second half of this game, and we'll get more to that in a second. As I talked about in the San Antonio game and talked about in today's Lin pregame video, Houston used a combination of Tony Douglas, Jeremy, and James Harden on the floor at the same time in the third quarter. I really like this look. They did well tonight, not great, but I really think that this is something that you're going to see Houston use more because it allows Jeremy to not have to handle the ball as much. Tony Douglas brings the ball up. It frees up Jeremy for more scoring opportunities, and it's good. All 3 of those guys are quick hitters. They're relatively quick, and they play well together. And all 3 of them are playmakers. All 3 of them have the ability to find teammates for shots as well as get their own shots. So I think it's something that you will see Houston using more. It's kind of a small ball, so to speak, and I think it works well for them. Now, the game was 68-64 Houston going into the fourth quarter. And then Jeremy Lin really showed up in this game. This is the Mr. Clutch that we saw last year against Philly when he hit the three-pointer to win the game against Toronto. That's one of the things I really like about Jeremy is he's a clutch performer. And he had a burst of about 4 minutes between the middle and the late of the fourth quarter of this game that helped Houston put this game away. It started with Jeremy drove to the hoop, pretty aggressive drive, going left to right to the middle of the lane, and he got fouled. He hit 2 free throws. One of the things that's been missing from Jeremy's game this year is getting to the free throw line. And that's primarily because, well, one of it is because of the system, and he's deferring more to Harden than he was to anybody else during Linsanity 1.0 with New York. But it's also because of his knee. He needs the explosiveness so he can drive hard and really go up strong and get fouled. And as the knee's starting to get better, he's going to do this more. And so his free throw attempts per game should be going up more. So he did that drive. He got fouled. He hit both free throw shots. Then he did a backdoor cut. He cut away from the ball, got a pass, and hit a reverse layup. And then he got a rebound, and he took like 1 or 2 dribbles, saw Chandler Parsons streaking, threw a full quarter pass to Chandler for a layup, which led to a timeout by Washington. So he had a streak there where he was responsible for 6 straight Houston points, 4 points from him, and then the assist to Chandler Parsons. And then he had another play where he dribbled along the baseline and kind of handed off the ball to Chandler for a corner 3. So he had, in that stretch of about 4.5 minutes, he was responsible for 9 of Houston's 12 points. The only other sequence in there that he wasn't involved in was James Harden passed the ball to Chandler Parsons for a 3. And that was, so Jeremy was responsible for 9 of the 12 points for Houston there, and that's when the game was in the balance. The game was relatively close. And so Jeremy really, when he had to focus and concentrate and perform, he did. And that's his reputation. I mean, that's always been his reputation as far as I understand it from Harvard, maybe even back to Palo Alto, that he's at his best when the game is most important. And so even though he didn't have a great statistical game tonight, he got it done when he needed to get it done. And that's a really good sign. That's a very good sign. That's what he needs to do, and that's what the team needs him to do. And again, that's a very clutch performance. That's about it. I mean, that's most of what happened in this game. It was both teams missed a lot of shots. Houston missed a lot of open shots, but they had to win, and they won. And again, with Jeremy, sure, this wasn't Linsanity 2.0 game number 2, but Harden was back. Harden was pretty aggressive in this game, obviously, and Jeremy just kind of flowed with it. He could have been a little bit more aggressive, but he didn't need to be. He didn't need to be in this game. And when he needed to assert himself late in the game, he did. And so it's a good outing. It's a positive outing for him. He shot 50% from the field. I thought everything was great for him tonight, except for that little bundle of turnovers. He needs to continue to work on it. I'll tell you another thing that was great, and I saw him do this several times tonight. If you've ever noticed with Steve Nash, and of course we're always comparing him to Steve Nash, I think there are comparisons there. Steve Nash almost never picks up his dribble. In other words, he'll go right in the middle of the lane between all the big guys, and he'll keep dribbling. You see Chris Paul does that. Other guards do it. Jeremy did that a couple of times tonight, and he did it in particular when he kept dribbling through the middle of the lane, and then he handed the pass off to Chandler Parsons for the three-pointer late in this game. He just dribbled from one side of the floor to the other, kept his dribble, and then handed the ball off. So he's getting better with his ball handling, and he's getting better with not stopping his dribble. You know, you've heard me say, if you've been watching our videos, this whole year. Jeremy needs to stop picking up his dribble, and he's getting better with that. So that's definitely something I saw tonight that I thought was good, and he's getting better and better. It's going to take him some time to get full point guard skills for the NBA because, again, he played shooting guard at Harvard, so he's used to that in a lot of ways, but he's getting there. And tonight was, with the dribbling, seeing more and more of that. So, look, it was a great game. Houston won. That's the key. Jeremy performed the way he needed to, even though it wasn't big stats. The team won. That's the most important thing. And it's a successful outing if your team wins, particularly when you contribute as Jeremy did tonight. Also, let me say that Tony Douglas played well in this game. He had 12 points, and that's what we want. As I said, it's good if Tony Douglas performs well, particularly if you're going to have Douglas, Lin, and Harden on the court at the same time. You need these guys to be performing well. So that's the wrap up for tonight. Your comments below, thumbs up, thumbs down on this video. We encourage you to come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group. Over 2,000 members there and growing. You'll find a link for that in the video description below the video player. You'll also find links to video highlights of this game, box score, and game stories. I am Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. We will talk to you again soon. Have a great night.